We've been hearing a lot of questions about whether the Orleans Parish Sheriff has enough money to adequately run and secure the jail.
Well, many of those questions surround a $14.8 million general fund balance that was documented in the agency's most recent audit. Investigator Katie Moore walks us through the numbers.
We've been hearing a lot of numbers thrown around about how much money the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office has to run and secure the jail, especially with now obvious needs such as money to secure cell doors.
The City of New Orleans will also continue to ensure that funding for the jail has been a priority since taking office, 7 years, actually last week. My administration has put forth over $577 million for the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. $460 million of that have been on operating expenses alone, with an increase of $36 million relative to capacity building in which we have been funding.
Lots of numbers, but in a nutshell, city tax dollars fund the vast majority of the sheriff's budget. This year, the OPSO got $71.8 million. Why hasn't the agency fixed the security gaps with some of that money? Well, the sheriff's office says it just doesn't have enough. Some are asking questions about some of the money mentioned in this legislative audit that says in 2023, the sheriff had a $14 million fund balance. Here's what the sheriff's chief financial officer, Bianca Brown, had to say about it at the Escape News conference last Friday.
As of today, that balance is about $6.3 million that is still due out as of 2025.
So what happened to that money? Basically, Brown said it's all spoken for, but the balance is down to a little over $6 million. She ticked off a laundry list of things that it was used for.
$4.2 million was related to accounts payable. $9.5 million was related to FEMA restricted cash for capital projects only. The seizure and restricted cash had about $98,000 in it due to others, which was processing fee, DA fees, clerk of courts, NOPD property room. They get about $97,000 of that money.
And $400,000 more for background checks for civilian employees and other expenses. If there wasn't enough to properly secure the jail, City Council member Joe Giarrusso questions why Hudson never asked the federal court to force the city to pony up the cash. The court oversees the jail through a consent decree.
If you think you really need money and the council or the mayor isn't providing it to you, go file a motion in the federal court.
This email exchange we obtained with city leaders, including Giarrusso, indicates Hudson has never asked the court to force the city's hand.
One of the points we've raised repeatedly with the court is that the sheriff refuses to be in the city's accounting system, brass, and we keep on raising this because we've given the sheriff $70 million and have gotten requests for like $400,000 in travel and leasing of numerous Tahoes. So we approach it with, if you have a need and it's for public safety purposes, we want to fund that. But we're not going to fund the other stuff and without the necessary accountability.
But the sheriff's office insists it has been repeatedly sounding the alarm about insufficient funds for maintenance, but it has been falling on deaf ears.
Just on Monday, we went to the City Planning Commission and we reported this out. We asked for the money to secure this. So the funding is not available to do what needs to be done.
Now, some state lawmakers have asked the Louisiana Legislative Auditor to conduct a full audit of the Orleans Sheriff's finances to find out. Katie Moore, WWL Louisiana.